Hey guys, I apologize for not getting on these videos for last week, but I just wanted to cover the paper, which all of you should have back by now. And I think everyone did a pretty good job, or for the most part, people did a good job. Good writing style. I appreciate the effort. I should have said this up front. You might get a full credit, like 100 on the discussion boards, because again, I'm grading them lightly. Here, you won't get full credit. In fact, almost no one will get full credit, but you'll still get a good grade. Again, the average is 90, about a 90, 91, give or take. So just keep that in mind going forward. And again, for the most part, people did fine. I expected you in the paper, and most people did this, identify the tensions between the head shed of SLS. Okay, so, and this is applicable to any group. The CEO is looking at profits and stockholders and shareholders who may not see risk as part of their portfolio. So that's who he or she is accountable for. The CIO is accountable for the systems to work and to be user-friendly and for people to actually be able to do their jobs on the systems that are available. So lack of complexity, ease of use. The CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer, is responsible for the cybersecurity role. And you'll see tensions among these three groups. And the case study brings it kind of a little bit happier than it usually is. But you need to, most people identified it. And you also need to talk about the organization where the CISO, in this case, reports to the CIO. And is it better for he or she to report to the CEO? So they have a seat at the table to talk, about information security. So again, you have to identify those tensions and understand that dynamic. The SLDC lifecycle, I think people identified it, and that's fine. You just have to show in the case study the applicable steps and where the implementation is. So don't just repeat it to me. Just apply it to the case study. And then finally, you have to kind of, wrap this up with what you think the vectors for attack are and what are the most likely risks. And many people, talked about malware and SQL injections, and you're correct in that type. Many of you talked about social engineering and vulnerabilities to a repeat of the USB incident. But just say, based on the mission of SLS as well as the vulnerabilities, what do you think is most likely to happen? Ransomware, denial of service, mass credential theft. So the CEO has understanding of risk, and that's what we're going to look for going forward. So week 5, again, we're going to talk about encryption, the history of encryption and how it's used for systems protection, how we went from basic passwords to multi-factor authentication, biometrics, public key infrastructure, and you're going to kind of cover that history. And then just one thing to think about is the current commercial off-the-shelf. Many people might use different messaging apps like Signal or WhatsApp that have some base encryption in that. Are those susceptible for an outside hacker? Are they as secure as they're advertised? So just things to consider, and if there's questions or issues, please let me know.